have a PS3 or a PC that doesn't have Windows 7 or Windows Vista, want to use a Gamecube, ps2, or Xbox controller, or all at the same time for 3 players? Well, now you can with the Magic Joy Box! 3-in-1. Basically, yeah, you can use all these controllers, and at the same time, of course, you can have player 1, player 2, whichever one you want, onto your PS3. Now you may be asking, Game All Stars, why would I want this? Why would I want to use the perfectly awesome PS3 controller on the PS3? Or not use it on the PS3? Well, on games like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and you're someone who played Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, it's kind of nice to be able to use the game controller, because I can't use the gamepad worth of crap, and I need a joystick on the top left. And then, of course, you know, it's also good for just having more controllers, so that way you can have 4 players without having to buy 4 PS3 controllers. And the PS2 controller acts exactly the same. Note that this has to be hooked up to your system with the controllers hooked up before the system is turned on. Otherwise, it does not register. You cannot just randomly hook up another controller to it. It does not work that way. There's no disc or anything for this. It just works perfectly the same. Now, I'll show that this does work. Say, Deadpool! And then left is start for some odd reason. They switch around the buttons. And I'll show you that the PS2 controller works. Works perfectly fine. You've got to turn on the analog if you want to use the analog. Note that on the actual PlayStation menu, you have to like hold left and it just barely moves, like in any direction. So that's kind of a downer. But during gameplay it works perfectly fine. Except for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, you can't dash very well, but I can dash pretty well on Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But anyways, it's useful to have up to 4 players on your PS3. If you can fit enough buttons on the game controller. It works exactly the same with the PS2 controller. The Xbox controller obviously would be different. Don't have one, cannot test it. Otherwise, the 3-in-1 Magic Joy Box is definitely a good device to own, mainly for your PS3 for those odd games, and the fact of having 4 players. Now all 4 of you can play Mod Nation Racers without spending a lot of money on controllers. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about the Magic Joy Box, just put it in the comments. I will try to answer it for you, or possibly, if it's big enough, make a response video to this video. You guys have a good day, and this is Game All Stars.